I'm Moriah.
And I'm Ellieanna.
And today we'll be presenting our mobile application development called FBLA WA.
So let's talk about the problem. Our task was to design an app that would come alongside an FBLA chapter. The user of the app would need to be able to sign up for FBLA, contact their chapter officers, track the meeting attendance of local members, and access the general information about FBLA.
And this brings us to the planning process. First, we planned out what we wanted the app to look like and how it would flow. As you can see by our sketch, we laid out the ways the pages would look, making sure we included all the necessary components. Next, we collected data that we would need within the app, and we put it into arrays so that it'd be easy to work with when we began to program. Finally, we wrote out how we wanted the app to work, so that translating it into code would be easy. For example, in this picture, we talked through the first time the app launched. We would need to collect the user's first and last name, the team they belong to, and the user's email address.
And this brings us to the layout and navigation within our app. We wanted our app to be as clean and as easy to use as possible. We decided to go with a tabbed app from Xcode. This way, each function of the app is clearly laid out within the navigation controller that's along the bottom of the screen. This is a screenshot of the storyboard from within Xcode. You can see clearly each view controller, and the arrows show how they're all linked together. We thought it would be a better idea to have more individual view controllers that were easy to navigate than less controllers with too much information that was packed into them.
Within each view controller, there are components that make them up. For example, in the Social Media tab, there is a UI label, a tab bar controller, and a web view. And this brings us to the code. The code in this project is fully commented, so that in the future, other developers could look at it and understand it. It has no errors when run and tested. It does have a bug reporting service within the app itself, which we will take a look at in a moment.
So let's look at an example from some code from within the app. This is a piece from the page in which users can contact their local chapter officers. This IB action is written for James's contact button. When it is pushed, the email recipient is set to his email, the mail compose view controller is configured, and then within the if-else statement, the application checks to see if it can send the email or not. And if we scroll down further, we see a function that was called earlier, the one that configures the mail compose view controller. Within this function, the recipient of the email is set to the email that was declared earlier. The subject of the email is set, and the body of the email is set up. When the user is presented with this view controller, they will be able to edit all this information, so it will still be a personal email. Unfortunately, due to time constraints, this is all the code we have time to walk through.
Another aspect that needed to be incorporated into the app is social media. We decided to make the social media tab our landing page. This way, every time the user launched the app, they would be able to see what new things have been happening with FBLA. There are 3 social media platforms that can be viewed, including Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And the user can toggle back and forth between them easily thanks to the tab bar controller. The icons and graphics were thought about too. The buttons within the app were designed to reflect the colors of FBLA. The icon was designed with the colors of FBLA in mind, as well as the shape of Washington, with a pinpointing to Vancouver, which is where our chapter is located.
Our privacy policy and terms of use are located on a Google site that we created and are also linked to within our app. This is a screenshot of what the Google site looks like, and by scrolling down, you'll see both the privacy policy and the terms and conditions. We also use some text from FBLA.org within our app, and that is covered under the Fair Use Guidelines for Educational Multimedia.
Now we'll look at the packaging of the app. This project contains an Xcode project file, a README file, and a file containing instructions that explain how to use Xcode and navigate the app.
The app is fully compatible with many devices. These include the iPod 6th generation, all iPhone 6s and newer, and all the iPads from the iPad mini and newer.
Now we'll head over to a quick demonstration about how the app works.
So, when we open the folder here, we see the project and all its files, as well as both the README and the instruction file. When the project is opened, we see the files show up here along the side, and within each file, you can see the commented code. Now we will take a look at the app within the simulator. I have the app open on the iPhone 11, iPad Pro, and my personal device. The first time the app is launched, the user is required to enter their first and last name and their email address. When this is done, the home page is displayed. Like Moriah said earlier, the landing page of our app is the social media tab. If we toggle back and forth, all 3 platforms are available. Let's move on to the Events tab. This tab lists all of the events available to FBLA members. They are sorted by event type, and by clicking on them, you can see the event type, a short description, and a direct link to FBLA's website. Let's say the user wanted to sign up for a current event. They would click on the Current Chapter Event cell in the table view, and within it, we can see the Sign Up button, which allows them to send a pre-configured email to their chapter president. Moving on to the Attendance tab. This displays the members of a chapter, and the user can add or delete members if they would like. To track attendance, all the user has to do is select the members and press Export. They email the list of the users they collected along with the date of the meeting. On the Join tab, the user can join FBLA. They need to fill in the required information and then select 4 events they may be interested in. On the next page, there's both a Q&A as well as an About FBLA page. By selecting Officers, the chapter officers are brought up and the user can get in contact with them through email by tapping the buttons. On the Contact Us page, users are instructed to contact the developers if they find a bug or have a question. The privacy policy and terms of use are linked here as well. Finally, the calendar is displayed on this page. If the user would like to personalize the app, they can by clicking Edit on the More tab. They can then rearrange the order of the pages on their device. Thank you so much for this opportunity to present our app to you.